Hey, welcome back. This is reading every Marvel comic. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2. And yeah, I'm excited because you know how I love Spider-Man. So, as you know, I already read this comic because I read all the Spider-Man ones. So let's get into it. Two great new Spider-Man thrillers. Two great new supervillains featuring the Vulture and Spider-Man is tracked by the terrible Tinkerer. Spider-Man, duel to the death with the Vulture. The most colorful superhero of all, Spider-Man. His name makes the underworld tremble, but there is one who does not tremble. What fantastic power can the Vulture have, which makes him so sure he can defeat Spider-Man? Script Stan Lee, art Steve Ditko, and lettering by John Duffy. For days, a new and ominous danger has menaced the vast city of New York. No man knows where he'll strike next. No one can cope with this new, awesome threat. That warning, without the slightest sound, he strikes. For this is the Vulture. It's the Vulture! He stole my briefcase with a fortune in bonds! Help! I've read about him, but never expected to see him. I don't believe it! I thought he didn't exist. It's impossible! It can't be! How can he fly without a sound, without any effort? He's more like a gigantic bird of prey than a human. And the executive suite of powerful Jameson Publications, Mr. J. Jonah Jameson is on his usual rampage. I want to devote the next entire issue of Now magazine to the Vulture. He's big news. Everyone wants to read about him. But keep writing stories about Spider-Man also. I'll never rest till that dangerous mess destroyed. Does he live before we have the Vulture? What's the matter with you, man? What am I paying you for? The public wants to see him. But Mr. Jameson, nobody can get a picture of him. He's gone before any photographer can get to him. We only have an artist drawing. No more excuses. Get me pictures of the Vulture, or I'll get some new editors. Meanwhile, in a nearby high school, Peter Parker overhears an interesting discussion as the young science major performs an experiment in the lab. Boy, I'd like to see a close-up photo of the Vulture. A photo of the Vulture would be worth a fortune. Nobody can get close enough to him to snap one. Say, that's an idea. I never thought of it before. Magazines pay big money for hard-to-get photos, and I know how to get them. Here, Bookworm, take a look at what's going on in the outside world. Or can't you read anything but scientific formulas? Very funny news. At least my brain isn't muscle bound like the fat head of yours. He'd be grinning out the other side of his mouth if he expected that timid Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Now, where was I? Yeah, I bet I can bet Spider-Man could get close enough to Vulture to take some pictures. That would pay off. I could use the dough. Parker, I didn't expect you to ignore a delicate experiment right in the middle while you're poor through a lurid picture magazine. Parker, pay attention. As soon as school ends, the excited teenager rushes home to his Aunt May and is delighted to learn, "Dear Peter, dear, this picture camera is your Uncle Ben's. I'm sure he'd want you to have it." "Thanks, Aunt May. This little gadget's going to be a great help when it comes to paying our bills." And then, in the privacy of his room, Peter Parker changes into the most dramatic costume figure of all, that of Spider-Man. I'll figure out a way to attach the camera to my costume and then I'll test it out. Meanwhile, in a carefully prepared hideout on the outskirts of the city, well, well, so Parker Avenue Jewelry Exchange is moving $1 million worth of diamonds to their new offices. Across town, eh? It shouldn't be hard for the Vulture to get his hands on those gems. They'll probably be expecting me to try something, but I'll get those gems in a way no one will ever suspect. Even Spider-Man wouldn't have a chance of stopping me. After making certain he is not observed, the Vulture darts from his hiding place atop an abandoned silo in Staten Island, just a few seconds from the heart of Manhattan. Now, for the first part of my ingenious plan. Seconds later, atop an apartment house where he had been checking his camera, Spider-Man's amazing spark starts to pick up a strange sensation. Something's coming through the air, but making no sound. It can't be a plane. Not noticing the powerful figure on the rooftop, the Vulture sweeps past. They'll never figure out how I'm going to steal those diamonds. I've got everyone completely baffled, and no one has yet to discover how I managed to fly with these artificial wings. Well, luck, it's the Vulture. I'll, I'll toss I'll toss some message where they'll do the most good. The first one is for the Jameson Publishing Company building. Of course, I didn't mention this, but they call it. There's Now Magazine and Jameson Publishing Company. Pretty much, I think they get scratched. It's just they change it all to Daily Bugle. Right now, it's not. So here we go. My next message is for the radio network. Nothing I like better than taunting my enemies. and finally one for the police chief himself. I'll be gone before they have a chance to read them. The Vulture has never failed to carry out a threat yet. But we must go ahead with the transfer of the diamonds. We can't let the city think that one colonel can make us change our plans. I did it! Now that I've warned them, my triumph shall be even greater after I've seized the gem. If these fellows of the Vulture come out all right, they should be worth a small fortune. But in their eagerness to get a close-up picture of the Vulture, Spider-Man carelessly kicks a loose brick. That sound! There's someone on the roof behind me. I got to move fast as only a Vulture can. There, I got everything adjusted perfectly. Now to go. Hey, where'd he go? Well, so Spider-Man himself is on my trail. Good. It'll be amusing to finally face a foe worthy of my mental. Ugh! Having been momentarily taken by surprise, Spider-Man is stunned and dazed by the Vulture's brutal onslaught as his merciless foe flies towards the nearby water tower. This is almost too easy. Once I drop him into the water below, he'll never bother me again. With Spider-Man out of the way, the city will be mine. Now that I have disposed of that temporary interruption, I'll carry on step 2 of my master plan. Meanwhile, inside the tank, the shotgun hitting the cold water instantly revives the powerful Spider-Man. The Vulture somehow trapped me inside this water tank. Well, if only myself to blame for being so careless. I'll just shoot my web towards the top and... Oh no, the ejector's empty. I have to refill it since I last used it. I've been so busy with that camera, I got to try something else. Can't climb to the top, it's too wet. It's slimy for me to get hold on. But shooting can't stay afloat here much longer. Not a pleasant choice, I'll either drown or suffocate in here. Wait a minute, what's wrong with me? Why don't I use my head? I can get out of here. My muscles are far stronger than any ordinary humans. There's one little trick that only the Spider-Man can perform. All I gotta do is reach the bottom, squat down for him to hurl myself upward. Like this. I did it. Whew. I might not be able to fly like the Vulture, but my spider strength hasn't let me down yet. My luck's still holding out. Here's my camera. Sure is unbelievable how the Vulture manages to fly so swiftly. I'm struggling to figure out how he does it. Lair in his room again. Pictures came out fine. Now, whom do I sell them to? Jonah Jameson, the publisher of Now Magazine, hates Spider-Man. I got a kick of him making him pay good dough for my pictures without him knowing I'm the photographer. Originally, I designed my Spider-Man costume to just give me some color so that I could make money as an entertainer. But if I'm really going to be a secret adventurer, I've got to make some changes. First, I'll add extra web fluid capsules so I always have enough spider webbing on hand. I'll fashion small containers in my belt to hold additional web fluid cartridges. Then when I get paid for my pictures, I'll buy a special miniature camera secretly attached to the belt buckle. There, the whole contraption fits under my shirt, where it's out of sight and doesn't interfere with my movements. Now I've got a hunch I know the secret of Vulture's power of flight. Let's work on a little device which may come in handy next time we meet. Long hours later. Whew, that was tougher than I expected it to be. But it's finished now. I won't know if it'll work until I try it, but right now I'm gonna get some shut-eye. The next day, J. Jonah Jameson receives an exciting phone call. What's that? You got some photos of the Vulture? That you want to sell? Well, don't waste your time talking. Get over here right now! Joe, have him sell the presses. And soon, sorry, Mr. Jimmy, I cannot see anybody right now. He's having an important conference. These pictures are sensational. Great. But how did a kid like you get them? Sorry, sir, I'd sell them to you on one condition that you never asked me that question. Okay, you can have your little secret. Doesn't matter how you got these pictures. The point is, pictures will make the next issue of Now a sell. I'll issue a check to you immediately. And remember, Mr. Jameson, I don't want my name used. You can merely give credit to a Now magazine staff photographer. Sure, boy, sure. And if you get any more great pictures, remember to give me a first crack at them. We're always in the market for sensational photos. In fact, if you get a picture of that man Spider-Man, brother, wouldn't you be surprised if you knew? The next day, as school lets out. Come on, Pierre, we're going to watch them move the diamonds from Park Avenue Jewelry Exchange. We're hoping to get a glimpse of the Vulture. You don't really think the Vulture would dare try anything with all the police are there, do you? Don't be scared, Bookworm. We'll protect you. Gosh, the whole area is cornered off. The TV cameras, newspapermen, police, it's like a carnival. Vulture would be nuts to try anything with a crowd like this around. This is one time he won't make a good on his boast. It's hard to see how the Vulture could have a chance at the jewels under these conditions. There are police on every roof and an armed helicopter flying overhead. I better make myself scarce if I have to change to Spider-Man. I won't be able to do it in the middle of a mob. Look, ain't little P shaking it out. Guess the excitement is too much for his delicate little self. Minutes later, the valuable jewelry shipment starts its cross-town convoy, accompanied by patrol cars and a police whirlybird falling above. I wish the Vulture would make a try for these diamonds, Chuck. We'd nab him for sure. Yeah, but he won't show. He's too smart for that. It's all clear. Start bringing the jewels out. Not a sign of the Vulture. He knows he wouldn't have a chance. The sky is clear, except for our own chopper out there. Looks like the whole thing was a false alarm. But Staler, anyhow, a character like the Vulture, you never know what's going to happen next. Gentlemen, you are so right, and now I'll take those diamonds. The Vulture, but how? We expected an attack from above. Before the startled officers can fire, the wily Vulture plummets back underground, dropping the mantle cover into place above him. Then, I'll be miles away before they can even lift the mantle cover, and they'll never know which of these twisting tunnels I'm flying through. A short time later, at the other end of town, a triumphant the Vulture decides to leave his underground lair as dramatically as possible. Look, the Vulture! He just flew out of the subway tunnel! This will give the fools something to talk about for years to come. How simple it was. It worked like a charm. Now I've vanished over the rooftops before the police can even begin to converge at this point. Meanwhile, learning what has occurred, Peter Parker manages to find a deserted alley and then moving with blinding speed. He did it. He fooled everyone, even me. If I'll find him, if I can get some new pictures of him now, I'll be able to name my own price for them. The thing I like best about being a Spider-Man is scaling these sheer walls. I don't think I'll ever stop getting a charge out of it. Now, if the Vulture is anywhere in this area, my Spider sense will detect him. Ah, I'm beginning to get a tingle now. What a break! There he is now. I'll sit you for me to be a sit for me to follow him using my web to swing from building to building. But as luck would have it, the Vulture chooses to look behind him at the very second end. Better check to see if any police officers are. And what the? It's Spider-Man. He's free and he's following me. He's too dangerous. I got to get rid of him for good. First, I'll execute a fast loop-the-loop, which will put him behind me. Holy smoke, where'd he go? You couldn't have flown away so fast. Wait, I feel vibrations in the air behind me. The Vulture must have dove back behind me somehow. Forewarned by his fabulous spider sense, Spider-Man wheels about in time to avoid the full impact of the Vulture's swooping dive, but one powerful wing sends the colorful clad figure toppling from the edge of the rooftop. No, you don't. This time I'm ready for you. What? He hit me with my foot with that cursed web of his. Pulling himself up and overhand, the mighty Spider-Man manages to get within grabbing distance of the Vulture's ankle, and then got ya. You fool! You're in the sky or in my helmet. I'll shake you off and be rid of you for good. Take it. Talk is cheap, Birdman. This time I'm sticking. And now to test out my little gadget. Here's hoping it works. That did it! You're out of control. I've beaten you. What did you do? I can stay afloat. You'll kill us both. Speak for yourself, mister. The sky is my much as much as yours. Just watch. I can always save myself by shooting my web at a nearby building like this. As for the Vulture, he'll manage to break his fall by spiraling down. But he's going to have a tough time ever using those wings again. Here comes the police helicopter. They must have sighted us when we were battling. A chance to get some exclusive pics of the capture of the Vulture. Take her down, Charlie. We were right. It is the Vulture. Can't get up. Wind knocked out of me. What'll I do? This doesn't take a cake. Whoever thought we'd be able to capture the Vulture so nice and easy? What happened, fella? Did you have a tailspin? Please, no jokes. These pictures should be prize winners. That does it now. To get those shots of Jameson and ask for top dollar from them. Let's go, Birdman. Birdman. We'll get you to headquarters and find out once and for all how you managed to fly the way you did. If you ask me, if they asked me, I could have told them. The absence of noise gave me a clue. I suspected that he had discovered a way to harness magnetic power. The way my gadget had made him fall. It's an anti-magnetic emitter, and it worked. Then, as the next day dawned, tell me, Parker, are you a magician? How's a teenager like you manage to get pictures of our best staff photos when I give their teeth for? Remember our deal, Mr. Jameson? That's my secret. Now, if you don't want the pics, or you out of your mind with these pictures like these, I can almost stand living in the city with Spider-Man. Take a boss and get out, and buy yourself some Twist records. He thinks I'm just a typical teenage kid. Good, that's the way I like it. And this wad of bills he paid me is also what I like also. And upon reaching his home, MA, this money means you're not going to worry about anything again. I pay the rent for a full year. Tomorrow I'm buying you the newest kitchen appliance you ever drooled over. Oh, Peter, I'm so proud of you. It's just like your Uncle Ben always said. You're the most wonderful boy in the world. Well, in Lonely Cell, the Vulture has a slightly different opinion of our hero. I wouldn't be here if not for that cursed Spider-Man. Sooner or later, I'll get free, and I'll develop a flying power that he can overcome, and then Spider-Man will be my turn to gloat. The end. Well, that would be the end. But I'm getting a drink. Ah, and the other another story. But yeah, That was the Vulture story. Here he is, second story. This is the last time we'll have two stories in one issue, so don't worry about that. The uncanny threat of the terrible Tinkerer. He looks so harmless, and yet the Tinkerer is one of the greatest menaces I've ever faced. This is the same. This one is the same, but the lettering is different. It's by Art Smack instead of the John Duffy, which is weird. Change the lettering throughout the story, but whatever. Everybody loves a bargain, but sometimes it can be a dangerous, deceptive bargain, which is too good to be true, especially if the bargain is being offered by someone like the Tinkerer. Who, but wait, let's see how it all began, how it took Swebbrit to finish it. A story has to start somewhere, so let's begin ours in the science lab of Midtown High, where we find Peter Parker hard at work, while, gosh, I thought class would never end today. I couldn't barely get one more test tube or Bunsen burner. Why, it'll break Peter's heart. He can't bear to be parted from them. There's the boy I was telling you about, Doctor. He's Peter Parker, a top science student. Peter, Professor Cobwell has asked me to recommend a student who could help him with some research over the weekend. And I was wondering, God, the chance to work with the most famous electronics expert in town? I'd be delighted, sir. Thank you, my boy. We have some urgent experiments to perform, and we'll appreciate your assistance. Here's my address, son. On your way over tomorrow, please stop at the radio repair shop and pick up a small radio for me. Has some new tubes put in it. Sure, I'll be glad to, Dr. Cobwell. Minutes later, when the students are alone again. Well, well, so teacher's pet is going to help the nice little doctor with some experiments this weekend, eh? Well, us other dumbheads wasting time having dates and living it up. Knock it off, Flash. You're darn right. I don't have a chance to work with a brilliant man like Dr. Cobwell. As for you being a dumbhead, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're just born that way. Before the angry Flash Thompson can think of a suitable retort, Peter Parker's gone the next day at home. Better take my Spider-Man outfit. Never know when I'll need it. Besides, I feel almost undressed about it. Where's the place the doc wanted me to pick up this radio? The Tinker Repair Shop. Sure is an offbeat name. Wonder what kind of kooky character runs it. Inside the shop, I'm the Tinkerer. What can I do for you, my boy? Here to pick up a radio for Dr. Cobwell. Oh yes, Dr. Cobwell. Just a minute, I'll get it. Boy, I sure called it right. He looks like a character straight out of Grimm's fairy tales. Then suddenly, strange as first, picks up all odd electronic impulses. Must be coming from his testing equipment. I gotta stop being suspicious of all the time. The Tinker looks about as dangerous as a second-hand cream puff. Meanwhile, a soundproof basement workroom directly under the shop. Dr. Cobwell is ready for his radio. It is one of his special jobs. Good, I may have finished it. You may have it now. I've inserted our special device. You will never suspect that this is much more than a simple radio. So far, none of our special customers suspect that we have done to the radios while we were supposed to be repairing them. Naturally, our plan must be completely secret until we are ready to strike. And then, after the long climb upstairs again, mean you only charge a dime to fix radios? But tut tut, my boy, I like to give bargains. They bring me lots of customers. Only at Dr. Cobwell's lab. Yes, I heard Mr. Tinker's price for ridiculously cheap. That's why I took my radio to him. But enough of that. Here's the experiment I want you to work out for me. I still don't get it. The Tinker must be losing money on every customer. He didn't look like nuts to me. So what's his gangle? Nobody gives anything for nothing. This is bad. I gotta forget the Tinker and concentrate on what I'm doing. But something about him keeps sticking in my craw. Wait, I know those electric impulses which I sense in the shop. Now it's them here. A part of me, which is Spider-Man, is reacting suspiciously to them. I've got to check this out. But where can the impulse be coming from? The radio is shut off. Dr. Cobwell doesn't have any other electronic gadgets operating now. Putting on his coat. This is my chance as soon as he leaves. I have a lecture at the Institute now, Peter. I'll be back in a few hours. Slam. He's gone. Now to see what this is all about. Hey, no ordinary radio has gadgets like this. Inside of it, there's where the impulses are coming from, even with the set off. This does it. I'm through. I'm kidding around. Now Spider-Man's gonna take another look and see if this Tinkerer shop. This place is closed for the day. Well, that won't stop me. I'm getting those same strange impulses again. Coming from below. Wow, no innocent little repair shop ever had a basement working like that before. It's more like a concrete reinforced dungeon. Luckily the door's open. I guess they're not expecting visitors. Inside the isolated workroom. You have done your work well, Tinkerer. We are almost ready to strike. Yes, our electronic spy devices hidden in radios belong to important Earthlings, have enabled us to learn much about their strengths and weaknesses before we attack their unsuspecting planet. Quiet, I'm processing the latest pictures relayed back to us by our pinpoint TV spy device, which you planted in the radio of military leader. How clearly can we hear and see? My devices never fail. Silence, I must remember what they say. I summon you, Colonel, to discuss our plans for the defense of the eastern seaboard in case of a surprise attack by any hostile force. So that's what it's all about. They're enemy aliens from another planet using some sort of eerie spy device which they place in other radios in order to learn our secret military and scientific secrets. A spy! My Spartan instincts warn me someone's behind me. Woo, not a second too soon. Now no place to go but inside. A costume air creature sees him. It's not gonna be that easy, buddy boy. See what I mean? Look, he can climb sheer walls. He is no ordinary Earthling. He is Spider-Man. Get him! He escapes with knowledge of our plans. We are lost. Ha, the inverter mechanism. Thrown at him. Loosen his grip on the ceiling. He's falling. Now we have him. Render him helpless. We can overwhelm him by sheer weight of numbers. I've got news for you. It's been tried before. His strength is broader than we suspected. He shook us all off. A weapon. We need a weapon. We have a weapon. The Tinker is never unprepared. This will stop Spider-Man. Ugh! Would have killed the normal human, but it merely stunned him. Quickly, put him into the specimen cage before he comes to. There is nothing that can live can break that out of that resisto glass enclosure. Now our final problem is to find a suitable way to dispose of the meddler. He is the only mortal on Earth who respects our presence here, the only one who knows our master plan. There is no question about it. He must be destroyed. Release the air from the retro glass prison. Within minutes, Spider-Man will no longer be a menace to us. To move fast, the control panel also opens and shuts this crazy little mousetrap. The air is being forced out through these tiny holes. But instead of killing me, these little openings are going to save me. It's a good thing my spider web launcher is loaded and ready for action. Cartridge web fluids, adjustable spray nozzle, palm release button, safety catch on. Can afford a miss. I got to line up perfectly with the hole in the proper control panel button. I got the safety catch off, nozzle on target, hand steady, bullseye. It worked. The cage is open. I'm free. Look, it's impossible, but he's loose. Spider-Man is loose. Who do you think you are? The town crier? You fool! You jammed my arm. I've destroyed our control panel. It would take months to build a control panel. We haven't the time. Quick, let us flee while we can. Spider-Man is too powerful. Wait, don't leave me. Don't abandon me. Hold on there, laughing boy. You're not going anywhere. They were just doing their duty to whatever planet they were from, but you traitor. This smoke, the burn control panel. It put the whole place on fire. Stop struggling, Tinkerer. I'm trying to save you. Now let me go. Take your hands off me. Nobody touches the Tinkerer. Can't see the smoke. Blinding me. Choking me. Get away. Whew. Just in time. Couldn't have lasted much longer. The building is totally wrecked. It will be reduced to ashes in minutes. Here's sirens, fire engines. Someone must have turned the alarm. I gotta disappear. Look, it's Spider-Man. We started the fire. But why? Meanwhile, a strange spacecraft begins to streak away from Earth. Save at last. Press the button, which will destroy all the spy devices by remote control. It is done. We can never return to Earth. They will be on guard from this day on. And back at the laboratory, Dr. Cobwell. I re-examined the radio, and it's perfectly normal now. No noise, no impulses, nothing. Here comes Dr. Cobwell. He looks excited. Boy, I just saw the most startling sight. As I was returning from the lecture in my car, I glanced skyward, and I could have sworn I saw a spaceship of some sort fading into the atmosphere. Hey, what did it look like, sir? Well, sort of like, oh, what am I saying? I must have imagined it. Nobody will believe me anyway. I have no proof. People would think I'm a typical absent-minded professor. Great, Peter. Let's get back to work. Sure, Doc. We already know aliens exist in this world because they met the Phantasm 4, and the Phantasm 4 met the aliens have come to Earth multiple times. So that's kind of weird for them to even think that. In other stories, because there's always aliens. So it's kind of weird that we even think that. Wait. Yeah, I was so sure. I know how the doc feels. If not for this mess I yanked off the Tinker at the last minute, I might not believe it myself, but I better never mention this to anyone. It will be too hard to explain how Peter Parker knows so much about the Spider-Man adventures. The beginning of more and greater of Spider-Man adventures, starting next issue. Next time, we'll go back to Fantastic Four. But next time in Spider-Man, we meet Dr. Octopus. See you then.